Walking over to the mechanics. There's a slight break in the weather. It was pouring here just 2 minutes ago. So great thing about no more engine vibration is I'm not annoyed by that engine vibration anymore. However, I can feel that misfire. So I brought it over to Irvin this morning, and I'll tell you what happened there in a minute. All right, so I'm in the van. I just got back here to the shop, and I want to tell you everything that went down. So I pulled up earlier this morning, and Irvin popped in the van, and the idea was I just wanted him to do the crank position sensor relearn, which he did. But I told him, right when I pulled up, I said, you know, now that the vibration is gone, I feel like I can feel a misfire. And sure enough, I mean, he felt it too. Yeah, it's obvious. It wasn't like a terrible thing. After he did the relearn, he was revving it to like 4,000 RPM. At idle at that point, the misfire was a little more prominent. So I said, dude, I don't care, you got to charge me for it. Just do me a favor and go over everything I did and tell me, like, help me diagnose this. So he called me back a couple hours later. They went through everything, the distributor, they pulled all the plugs, they did another compression test, everything. He said, I got really good spark on all the cylinders, it all matches, nothing crazy there, everything's good. His thing to me was the spider injection system, you know, and it was an 03, so specific to number 3. And here's the thing. I remember, and I have this mental picture in my mind. I remember when I put it in that day. I remember pushing them in on that side. And I remember questioning myself. It's like when I put the spark plug wires on sometimes, like, is that in all the way? I make sure I get it, and I pull on it a little bit to make sure it's seated. And I meant to double check it. But I was talking to Dave, and other things were going on. And I don't think I ever went back to double check that I had that seated all the way before I buttoned it up. And I think that's all the problem is. I think, excuse me, I think that injector may not have been seated all the way, and the compression maybe pushed it out a little bit. So they don't like that I use the standard brand. I mean, it was given to me, it didn't cost me any money, but I went on Rock Auto, and I can't find an ACDelco one, and I really don't feel like spending another $300 plus on a spider injector. And this one's only been in there for 4 months. Rock Auto also sells individual injectors. They're not numbered, they're all pretty much the same length. And the standard brand replacement is like $80 or $90. So I think what I'm gonna do is order that just in case it is seated all the way, and maybe that thing is just bad and I can unplug that and replace that one injector. That's gonna be what I'm gonna try to do the next time the sun is out and after that gets here. So that's the plan. But I want to tell you something else they did. He called me back to tell me that, and I said, what about this thing you can do with the engine where you do this decarbonation, like this cleaning of the valves up top? And they do a thing where they go through the vacuum system. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I did the PCV, and then I did that replacement of the other part of the PCV. Try to show it to you here. I'm getting water on me, but so get down on the ground here. You guys see this here, I think. I hope you can see it. It tees off here. I don't think there's enough light for you to see what's going on. Hang on a second. I'm going to open the hood. Okay, that's better. So I put this new piece in, and the original didn't have this T here. It just had the one section that goes off, and that's the vacuum system for the air conditioning and everything. But that's where they plug this thing in. They pull this thing, they plug that in, and they have a pressurized canister with this fluid that they're telling me you can't buy anymore. Gee whiz, man. Just dumb people, just dumb people. It's the city. Sorry, I think you're just looking at my hand. But they do that system, and it just forces this cleaning system through the top of your valves and everything, and it gets burnt up in there. So they're telling me it doesn't hurt anything. We'll see. Now, when Irvin called me, he said, hey, it's actually running much smoother, but the misfire is still there. And that's why I'm going to go through this. Let's start this. Oh, the engine light's on now. So I'll cancel that out because I hate looking at it. Yeah, you can feel the misfire. So, yeah, like I said, he went through everything, and they're the pros, man. They're all certified mechanics here and everything else, so I believe them. And I just wanted to mention this to you. You know, I'm not a mechanic. I say it all the time. I'm mechanical. I could take parts apart, eyeball things. I could put them back together, clean things up better than most of these guys, only because they don't have the time to do all that. That's not their job. So, but as far as diagnosis goes, you got to go with what the pros are telling you. And that'll be the next thing. So you'll see that next. And like I said, I'm going to button this thing up and drive it home. And it's not the end of the world. I wonder, on the way here, Irvin wasn't here when I came up. I wanted to ask him what he thinks the percentage of people driving around with misfires are. I bet there's a lot of people driving around with a misfire, and they don't even realize it. Anyhow, thanks for being here, and you guys will see that soon. Bye. All right, listen, before I head home here, I just wanted to put this out there to you people watching this. I haven't been able to find an ACDelco spider injector like that complete thing for a 3rd gen. This is a 2004 all-wheel drive Astro van. I haven't been able to find that. That's why I went with the aftermarket, aside from the fact that it was given to me. So if you can find that for me, I might spring for the money to do it. Or if you really want to support the channel, you always send it to me. Nobody's going to do that. But if you know where I can get an ACDelco version of that, I would prefer that. So, yeah, like I said, I really suspect it's my own bad. I think that injector probably just wasn't seated properly. And I think that's what I'm going to find when I open this up. So, once again, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks again for being here, and you'll see what happens.